I am back. We are back with a match reaction after Liverpool frustratingly draw 0-0 at home with Mikel Arteta's Arsenal in the first leg of the League Cup semi-final. Firstly, I want to say thank you to Chris and to Paddy for covering for the last week. You guys did an amazing job. Much better than that shambles of a performance today. I want to also give a shout out to our sponsors, Manscaped. Don't forget WFM20 for 20% off and free shipping. Chris, look, you were in the hot seat for the game, my man, so thank you for that. Great job. But I can only imagine how frustrating it was. And you know what, mate? I'm glad I wasn't doing it because I would have probably been cancelled by now.
Yeah, all I'll say is I was very, very restrained with my criticism. It took me about 80 minutes to break down. Blimey. The highlight of the match was talking about biscuits and how we could butcher your name. So, like, we came up with Craig, Krug, and loads of good stuff, you know, just to and all that. That was literally it. That was it. That is all what happened. Nothing else. Oh, mate, I just don't even know. We didn't even test the camera safe merchant, mate.
Nobody's got to be safe from my critique tonight. The fans are getting it as well because they was like a library in there. I don't know what the hell they were at. There's nothing going on there. I mean, look, Paddy, as soon as you seen the team, and look, I didn't get a chance to speak to you guys before the team news came out or when it came out, but as soon as I seen it, I thought, well, that's the Brexit midfield, so there's zero creativity happening here.
Yeah, and I think in the preview show me and Chris done yesterday, I was discussing how I didn't want to see a midfield like that. We need some creativity in midfield. I think in the WhatsApp group, even Steve was saying, like, wow, talk about a midfield devoid of any sort of, you know, anything really, just very lethargic and just, I mean, that spelled trouble. I was just hoping the front three could kind of like work something magical, but they were relying on scraps and, you know, it just wasn't happening. And the midfield, like, as much as I love Jimmy Milner, he's not the man to be starting these important games. And I'm sorry, and I'll say it. It's time to go.
See, my anger here, gents, is shared equally. You know, I'm an equal opportunist when it comes to dishing out the anger. Part of it, of course, is going to be aimed at the owners. But until I hear the manager, Chris, come out and actually say he needs players, I'm lumping Klopp in as well, because that was abject today, mate. That was pathetic. That was embarrassing. That was a nothing performance that we've seen play out 50 times over the last 10 years when a team comes with a low block or when they go down to 10 men. Usually in football, it gets easier when you're playing against 10 men. But we somehow managed to make the game narrower and not use the width of the pitch. It was so frustrating.
Yeah. Look, I'm always lost for words. Genuinely, every single person out there today, barring possibly Alisson, Van Dijk, and Matip, was shocking. There is no, and the staff are included. You know, there's not. It's Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. Okay, it's not the prime Jose Mourinho Chelsea coming to park the bus at Anfield. Okay, this is a pretty bang average team, in my humble opinion. And this Liverpool team is meant to be some of the best we've seen, and it is. Okay, but that was abject. I've not seen. Like, right, I can accept if we like miss our chances. If we, you know, the goalkeeper has a worldie, like against Leicester, for example, right? I can accept that. But we didn't even test Ramsdale, like, at all. I don't even think there was one shot on target.
He won, right. Last 2 minutes, I think there was one that probably got down as a shot on target.
There's nothing. There was nothing there. Like, that was pathetic, Craig. And I don't use that word lightly, because you know what I'm like with these boys. I love them, all right? I really, really do. But that was genuinely awful.
Yeah, look, I mean, Paddy, you're thinking all week, mate, the team talk has been done for Klopp. This should have been, you know, pin up the comments that were being thrown around at them, the accusations that were being labelled at them. And I was expecting the guys to come out tonight, mate, and go at it 100 miles an hour and absolutely tear Arsenal a new one. But for whatever reason, I don't know whether it was the lack of Salah, Mane, the team selection, the atmosphere, the COVID situation, I don't know. But it just never got going, mate.
No, it was, I echo everything Chris is saying there. Jesus Christ, it was really, really tough to watch. I had to do my own watch along, and geez, I picked a bad one tonight. I was in the horrors watching that. Absolute, just offered nothing. You know, the defense was solid, and the front three were up. I mean, they couldn't do much with what they were being fed. The midfield three, like, I thought Henderson huffed and puffed, but he lost possession a lot. He lost possession a lot tonight. We had a lot of that. Trent had an absolute horrific game. He lost possession countless amount of times. And, what's going bad when I was praying for Oxlade-Chamberlain at halftime. I was begging, please bring on Ox. Get Milner off that pitch and put Ox on. We need something. I thought Ox was okay, but I actually thought Curtis Jones was fantastic. He was definitely one of our better attacking outlets, even in a small cameo. We needed him from the start. I don't understand how Klopp doesn't see that, especially at half time. He just still persists with the same old Brexit shite in midfield of it just doesn't work. Like, it wasn't working yet. Anyone can see that, and he didn't make subs soon enough, to be honest, and it's just very frustrating.
What was the rationale behind taking off Joel Matip and bringing on Joe Gomez? How is that going to change anything?
I said that on a watch along, right? I can even understand putting Tsimikas and Williams on, okay, just to refresh the fullbacks.
I thought Nico did okay, to be fair, when he came on.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think I spent about a minute saying just why Gomez? What was the point? I understand maybe it was pre-planned, but there's so many better options on that bench. I'm not saying that it's stacked, but why not throw young Kate Gordon on? He would have created more. Like, it's why not throw that dice? Are we playing for 0-0? Was that it?
Why can't we play against 10 men, Chris? Sorry, I'm asking you like you're the problem here. Sorry, mate, I didn't mean it like that. Why can't we play against 10 men?
I don't know, mate. I really don't know. The Chelsea game is a prime example earlier this season. This is even worse than that. Okay, I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know, Craig. I don't have the answer for you. I wish I did, because I'd be worth a lot of money to Liverpool Football Club if I did. But no, I have no idea. Thiago, I'm guessing that's the.
Look, I'm going to move on to the midfield situation in a few minutes. Don't worry. But see, when I seen the team, Paddy, I thought, right, if I'm Mikel Arteta, I'm going to say to my Arsenal players, everything's going to go in the wide areas here, block the crosses, and they won't be able to do anything. And we just continue to just lump crosses in from wide areas. Just no creativity, no stretch in the pitch, no actually trying to use a numerical advantage by moving the ball from side to side and creating overloads. It was just, as we've all said, pathetic. And if anybody tries to disguise and say this wasn't pathetic, I'm sorry, fuck right off. This was awful.
Yeah, no, it was very poor. The way the team selection, some of it, the way it was set up, just wasn't right. And you had plenty, like it was the writing was on the wall very early on. They could have seen that. Like, obviously the red card doesn't help the game. Even then, though, even without the red card, we were still playing poorly. Arsenal rightfully they had to just sit back and defend, and I don't blame them. They got to do what they got to do. But we should be good enough to break down fucking Arsenal. Let's be real here.
I don't think it matters though, Paddy, who it is. It seems to be a consistent problem. When we either play against 10 men or we play against a team who sit back and fight, if we don't score early, we seem to be in trouble.
It's because we don't have any magic, especially in midfield. We don't have any magic. We have defensive magic. We don't have any magic. We don't have any like real big creators, really. Thiago was one, obviously, but fucking hell, do we even have Thiago? He's never around. We lack that little magician. Dare I say, someone.
Can we have this conversation? Like, let's have this conversation, because I've been thinking about this when I've been on holidays, and I'm fed up with this midfield situation. I mean, you can't have Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, and Thiago as your creative players, and Oxlade-Chamberlain has been much better defensively this season, but he hasn't got the attacking spark that he once had, and Keita and Thiago are just unreliable. They just aren't. Whatever we want to say, disguise it, talk about the fact he was 25 million, talk about the fact, hey, I don't give a shit if we've been unlucky with injuries. It's a constant problem, and we need to address it. And as Paddy said, Chris, we just don't have that spark. You knew tonight. I seen Steve is the most placid, realist person you'll ever come across. And he's seen the team and he said, there's no creativity there. Where are we going to see? And that's Steve. He's the positive one on our channel.
Yeah. Look, I usually tend to go that way, but as soon as I saw Henderson and Milner, I'm like, this midfield is 6 years out of date. Like, come on, lads. It's been pushed to the back of the cupboard, and yet we're still using these ingredients. Why? Henderson and Milner did not work in 2016. It's not going to work now. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, one of them. Okay. I'm sound with that. But we've got Oxlade-Chamberlain. You got Curtis Jones on the bench even. Okay. They provide a lot more. And you saw that when they came on, they at least huffed and puffed. There was nothing. There was no substance from that midfield, man. Nothing. And I know they're not designed for that.
All this on a day, Chris, where we see an article come out I think it was in the Telegraph, if I'm not mistaken, that suggested that we're not going to give Salah what he's asking for or what he wants. I mean, that's just a great way of building up the morale before a game, isn't it?
I mean, whether the source is informed or not, it's not a great thing to be reading. Look, Mo Salah provides that magic. We all know that. I think we could have relied on Mo Salah today more so, but again, it had to come from creatively from deep. Unpopular, well, it's probably a popular opinion today. Joel Matip had more threat attacking wise than Minamino, Firmino, and Jota put together, in my humble opinion.
I haven't mentioned Arsenal yet, and I haven't said well done to Arsenal. And of course, fair play to them, because I don't feel like they actually had to play particularly well to come out there with a 0-0. Like, they'll be happy with that result. Their manager will be happy. Their fans should rightly be happy because they went out to 10 men early. But Paddy, they didn't really have to do much. That's the frustrating part.
No, they just defended, really, didn't they? They didn't offer much going forward. They we were just that poor that they were happy just to cruise. Like we could have been out there for another week, and like I don't see where the goals are coming from. I can't remember one really outstanding chance. Well, I mean I can. Taki's one, obviously, which is we'll get on to that, I'd imagine. Yeah, no, just and as Chris was saying, Milner and Hendel didn't work in 2016. Why do you think it works now? They've won 3 out of the last 10 games they've started together. Like, that stat is there for a reason. It's not just coincidence. It's just they're two. They shouldn't ever coincide in the same starting 11, especially in a must-win semi-final of a cup competition that is becoming ever increasingly important because our league form has been a bit abysmal.
This doubly backfired, Chris, because the manager went strong. He went probably arguably as strong as he could with maybe, we could tweak Curtis Jones here or whatever, but that was a first team. There's no, these were the kids. That was a first team. That was what he deemed to be the strongest he could go, what was available at home against 10 men in the semi-final. And we create a team that the fan base were questioning the legitimacy of the COVID test. So many things, so many reasons why we should have put in a performance. And I don't know what Klopp's excuses has been because I haven't listened to the post-match reaction or interview yet. But if it wasn't, this is pathetic, I want more from my players, these owners better get their finger out and start supporting me because I can't pull miracles out my ass, then I don't want to hear it, if I'm being honest.
I don't think he'll come out and publicly shame his players. It's not his style, but I'm sure there'll be internal questions about the form that we're in at the moment. It's worrying. It's genuinely worrying because we don't want to be dragged into one shot on target. I don't even friggin'
thank you all, by the way, for the super chat, mate.
Massive really shout out to you. But 78% of the ball, we have the ball for I don't know how that equates in maths, like 69, 70 minutes of the game, and we have one shot on Ramsdale's goal, which is arguably not even a shot on target. I don't even think it was going in. Like, man, there's got to be questions. There's got to be questions, mate.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because we love Klopp, we love the lads, but something has to give here, Paddy. We need their. God, I can't believe I'm about to say this phrase, but I think we do need a scapegoat. We need to understand what the problem is, and it has to be the owners at this point because we've seen Villa, and I'm not suggesting we sign Digne or Coutinho, but at least the Villa owners are willing to pay a good chunk of Coutinho's wages, spend 25 million for Digne that they paid?
Yeah.
I mean, at least they're trying to do something. We're fighting for a league title, still in the European Cup, still in both domestic cups, and we're trying to scrape together 7 million for Zakaria like it's a world record signing.
It's embarrassing. It's like, and I'm sick of the owners going on and people in the club going on as if like we're perfect and we don't need signings. Oh, we have to only sign people that are going to make a difference. Jesus Christ, fucking Pat, the postman fucking Pat would have made a difference in that midfield today. You know what I mean? Like, sign someone. It's so, you can't tell me with a club of the size of Liverpool with all the resource and all this stuff, can't identify people that can come in now and help us now and also be there for the rest of the season. We need improvement. We need creativity. We need someone off the bench that has a spark. Like, I was praying for Cade Gordon. You know what I mean? And I know you said you didn't want Coutinho, but can you imagine having Coutinho off the bench there in that game?
Look,
Better
mate,
he's not in his
I won't lie. I would have rather seen him come off the bench than the Joe Gomez straight swap for Joe Matip.
I think I'd have rather seen Paddy come off the bench than Joe Gomez straight up for Joe Matip.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
I don't get it, lads. I don't. And as I said, we could have made 5 subs. Okay, Gordon could have had a run out there for the last 10, 15 minutes.
What's the harm?
Yeah.
What's the harm, Craig?
I don't get. Yeah, exactly. It's not like getting was going right anyway with the lads that were on there. Why not give him a chance? No, it can't be much worse.
I think Nico Williams did more in the few minutes he was on than Trent did in the entire game. If I'm being really honest,
awful. Trent
he was shocking. He was shocking. He was. And look, that happens. I mean, Trent's great. That happens. But I just can't get over this 10-man thing. We're gifted the opportunity. I mean, Granit Xhaka just doesn't have it going on upstairs a lot of the time when it comes to the challenges. I mean, that's between that and the shite that we had to listen to from the Arsenal fan base and those accusations, that drove me mad on my holidays. I won't lie. The entire week, all I was seeing was all of these arseholes giving it this all week. And they couldn't, they didn't even use that to their advantage. They didn't even go out there and play with passion. And I know. And look, I've seen people in the chat going, how dare you lads who aren't locals or don't go to games criticize the fans. The fans were wank. I'm telling it like it. They were shit. They were awful tonight. I heard the Arsenal fans the entire game with the, do you want us to sing a song for you? Is this a library? All the usual old hits that we get. And we usually bounce that off by saying, oh, well, it's only you. We don't get up for you lads because we only get up for the big games. But in fairness, quiet. Too quiet.
I will say, Craig, what I will say is that, would you sing for that?
You don't want to sing, but you want a moment. You want something, a crunching challenge or a refereeing decision or something.
There was nothing to ignite the crowd. And yes, they should be doing it anyway. Like I 100% agree. Under the lights on a Thursday night, we should be, intimidating Anfield atmosphere. I mean, and as a guy who goes regularly, I'll tell you, usually is. But tonight, from everything that I've heard, I didn't see it myself. It's not been great, but then to be fair, why blame them? What was that? There was nothing to sing for.
I don't know. Look, I suppose the upside of this, gents, is we can still go through. I still think we will go through. But if you're Arteta and that Arsenal squad now, you're thinking, well, we went into the Lions then. We went down. We started shakily. We went down to 10, and they did nothing. Paddy, Arteta will go, they created nothing. All he has to do is just tell them we're a one-man team. We're a Salah team. That's it. And just big up their confidence. Even if he doesn't believe it, just big them up. Yeah. And with the Arsenal fans behind them at the Emirates in a big semi-final second leg against a team that they don't like us by the sounds of it anyway. I mean, their team talk is done. I don't know what Klopp's going to say to these lads.
And we had a real chance tonight to put the semi-final ties to bed. We could have had it done and go to the Emirates with the game over. But alas, Liverpool Football Club did not make things easy on ourselves. So now we have to go to an Arsenal in a must-win game in a hostile atmosphere. You would imagine, with Arsenal and everything to play for, and almost nothing to lose because like they've done half of their job really. Like to go to Anfield, get a draw, get a clean sheet with 10 men. They have the upper hand. I think we're obviously better than Arsenal. And you'd imagine he'll pick a better team in the second half. So hopefully he'll learn from the mistakes of the first leg and we should get through. But it's just, as you said, Mikel Arteta will have his job done. They'll be bang up for it. Not to mention, like we were talking about, like you thought we'd be up after listening to the Arsenal fans all week. Arsenal are going to be up for it as well because they're going to be probably annoyed about the fact that Liverpool they couldn't play the first game. So I'll let you get back to that.
Spell my name right. I'll give you that one.
To be fair, you have to shout him out.
Respect to you. No. I mean, I'm up for taking a bit of criticism, but the criticism shouldn't be aimed at me tonight. It should be aimed at everybody in a red shirt and the manager and the owners, of course, because this is the time of the season where we knew we weren't going to have Mo, we knew we weren't going to have Naby, and we knew we weren't going to have Sadio. So you're looking to your Divock Origis, your Takumi Minaminos, your fringe players, your Thiagos. Thiago, nowhere to be seen. The great fucking mystery once again. Nobody knows what's going on with his hip, but we're being told he won't be out for the entire season. That's great. Fucking whoop-de-doo. Origi, injured. I mean, what's the point? What's the point of being told that we have these options at a time of the season where we need them and they're nowhere to be seen?
I know. It's really perplexing.
I mean,
Thiago tonight would have been
idiots. Obviously. We're being treated like idiots. We aren't idiots. Like, we see these problems, and if we can see them, if me, Paddy, Chris, and all of you guys and girls at home can see them, you bet your backside that Jurgen Klopp, Pep Linders, and Kravitz can see these problems. So somebody's telling Porky somewhere, Chris. Either Klopp genuinely does believe that we don't need anybody, or he just knows that he ain't getting a penny from the owners. So somebody has to fess up here sometime.
Mate, there's some, as you said, there's some cog in the machine that's not really twisting with the others. If anyone can look at that and say that we don't need more depth in our squad, then they are waffling. They are lying. I mean, look, that was genuinely woeful, like terrible. That takes me back to 2015. Like that, like when we used to celebrate a win like it was no end because we didn't know when the next one was going to come from. That's what it feels like a little bit. I know it's not going to be. I know we're way better than that now, but come on, man. And it's the fact that we are like and have proven that we're good. That sort of performance is even more frustrating.
My wife told me the chipper closes at 10:30. See you in the chat there. Hi, a fresh coffee chipper, please. Thank you. Look, here's my problem. One of my biggest fears, and I can only speak for me here, has always been that we look back, and you've heard me say this time and time again, we look back at Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool where we have a generational manager and we have regrets. I mean, none of us, whether you agree with what I have to say, what Chris has to say, what Paddy has to say, none of us want to look back at this time and have regrets. That's where we're headed, though. I mean, yeah, the Premier League was amazing. Amazing. The Champions League, amazing. But they shouldn't be in isolation, Paddy. We should have been able to push on from that. And I'm not saying have a dynasty, but certainly rack up 4, 5, 6, 7 major trophies.
No, for sure. We are bordering on a case of what could have been sort of stuff. And, you know, we've had those great moments. But at the end of the day, we want more. Like, it's Liverpool Football Club, you know. There's 19 titles there. Like, we want another one. You know, there's six Champions Leagues, European Cups. We want another one. And even I really want to win this League Cup. It's a trophy. I don't care. Like, City have won it for 4 years in a row or 3 years in a row. It'd be nice to win it. It'd be good for the group's mentality. It'd help us in the Champions League campaign. So yeah, I really want to win this, and tonight was a real missed opportunity. Poor team selection. That midfield is just. I don't understand how that was allowed to be picked. It's it's so obvious to everyone that that's not right. So I'd love to know why. I hope he learns from that in the second leg and picks the better team. And I'm still just like, yeah, it's just really, really frustrating, really, really annoying. Our only saving grace maybe could be Arsenal have to play Spurs now, like 4 days before we play them again. So that's a big game. They're going to be really busy with that. So hopefully we can catch them on the hop.
Look, it's difficult because obviously emotions are high. We're all frustrated. But at the same time, we know there's not going to be a resolution to it. Like, this is us. This is us, Chris, for the rest of the season. There isn't going to be incomings unless something drastic changes. So this is what our manager has to work with.
Yep. And I suppose if anyone can, you know, can do miracles with this squad, it's Jurgen Klopp. But we shouldn't be asking that of him.
But that's therein for me is the inherent problem with FSG is that once they got the manager, they got the dream manager, the manager who they thought could work miracles with a small budget and has, and they have milked it dry. Like, they have given him nothing. I'm actually baffled that he's still there because I wouldn't be able to cope with that level of frustration if I was Jurgen Klopp. So he's a better man than me, clearly. But where does it go? I mean, what are we now just happy? Top 4? As long as top 4, is that it? Is that the ambition for the owners?
Financially, there's no difference between second and fourth. And while Manchester City are in this league, first is almost, you know, it's a distant dream. I mean, over a 38 game season, you know, there's no one who we're not gonna get close to them. So what's the point? If I'm in the owner's minds, I'm like, well, what's the point in investing if we're not going to win the league? And you know, we can just chill, get top 4, get a nice new yacht, you know, chill. There's no point. Well, we'll give him a £35 million signing once every couple of years just to keep him happy. But mate, it's the lack of ambition staggering.
We're still playing catch up on players that we've lost. Like, we're not even looking to add to the squad. We're still playing catch up. We brought in a centre back after they cheapskated 2 centre backs, one of whom hasn't kicked the ball that I remember, and the other one Look, the other one, Nat Phillips, did a great job when he came in. Fair play. And Ozan Kabak is off now at Norwich, being absolutely terrible. So we went and signed Kanade. So that was making up for the fuck up the year before. But then we lose Gini Wijnaldum. Mr. Consistency, Mr. Dependable. Now, whether you think Wijnaldum was attack-minded enough or not, what we know is he was available. Always there, always available. And Klopp could trust him. We don't have that at the minute. We're looking around, and here, look, I want to bring this up because if you think I'm moaning, this is from David Lynch. If the plan for the AFCON was to stick Minamino in and hope for the best, then 0 shots on target against a 10-man Arsenal, that represents a concerning start.
I'm seeing a lot of tacky hate in the comments, right? Without Minamino, we're not here.
I thought it was okay.
Just gonna put that.
I thought Minamino was okay. Obviously that chance was an absolute sitter. He should have done a lot better. His finishing, but we can't expect a guy who doesn't really play every game to come in and be sharpshooter. Like I thought he was okay.
Him specifically.
No. Tonight wasn't about him. No, he missed a chance, but he's not good enough. Like fair is fair.
No,
he is.
He's not, but he's not good enough to start. No way. I think he's a decent squad option, but
he wasn't clearly. Again, not a decent squad option. Like not good enough. Look, this is a Minamino hate for me. Absolutely not. I will forgive anyone for missing a chance. It happens to everybody. I'm not going in at him for that missed chance. Because as you said, Chris, he scored a great goal in the last round. But ultimately, since we brought him in, it has been a feeling of not let down, but a feeling of an anticlimax. He hasn't been able to force his way through. Klopp clearly didn't see enough in him if he loaned him out to Southampton. And he's come back in, having not really lit it up for Southampton. He did okay. And yet we're now relying on him to try and salvage trophies.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't blame that on him at all.
No, you're right. And it's what Paddy said, it's unfair on Minamino to be asked to just come in and be the solution. I absolutely appreciate what Paddy 100%. Said there.
100%. Yeah, he should be 6th choice forward, not 4th in this situation.
Yeah.
Like he should not be anywhere near, even in AFCON. You know, I like Taki. Okay, he seems like the nicest guy, but that doesn't win you trophies, Craig. Being nice doesn't win you trophies. End of the day, Taki's done well to get in this competition, but man, you know he's got to be. Get him gone. Yeah, sure. Yes, he's not good enough, but it's not his fault tonight.
Chamberlain needs to go. One of Keita and Thiago needs to go. Milner needs to go. Minamino needs to go. Origi needs to go. And the reason I say Origi is because he's going to walk for free at the end of the season. The club won't play enough Premier League. He won't play enough Premier League games for the club to trigger the year extension that is in his contract. He has to play a certain amount of games for the club to have that option.
It's all well and good. I agree with the sentiment, Craig, but who are we going to our owners going to replace those players? No,
man.
If we go down that road, we're all admitting defeat. We as fans are admitting defeat. The managers admitting defeat. The players will admit defeat. So we have to be part of a solution if we can. We've only got a small voice. But we need to start speaking up. The match-going fans as well need to start speaking up. The forums need to start speaking up. The local press need to start speaking up. This has to be a concerted effort from the James Pearces, the Melissa Reddys, the Usses, the Anfield Raps, the Redmen TVs. All of these outlets need to say that FSG need to get their fingers out and sort this, because it is not good enough that we're in this position from building the club up from mediocrity, which we were for the longest time, to bring in a manager that has brought the good vibes back, the good times back, turned Anfield into a fortress, did everything we could have asked of him. But that team has naturally started to come to its conclusion. Players are getting a little bit older, and that happens to every team. But there's been no willingness from the owners to build Klopp's second team. And that is really, really worrying, Chris.
It is. I mean, we've always said that Jurgen Klopp would leave the club in a better position than he found it, but will he? Like, will he?
If he could, he would, but he's not getting the chance to, really, is he?
I don't know what's going to be the decimation of our squad by the end of Jurgen Klopp's reign. Hopefully, you know, there's going to be some form of investment in the next couple of years. I don't know, Craig. I really don't know whether he will leave it in a better place than it was, and it was in a pretty bad place then.
Yeah. Look, Paddy, people will look at this reaction and maybe think it's over the top. I get it. I feel it. But it's been simmering. It's been bubbling for a while. We've had seasons peter out where we've challenged for a title. We've ended up second or third. We've gone in the European Cup. We get to the quarterfinals. This is great. This is fantastic. And the owners will get their money in their back pocket. But we ultimately, as fans and those players, want to look back at their career and we want to remember these guys lifting trophies and getting silverware. And that's what they want. They don't want to remember, they want to play in the Champions League, but they want to try and win the Champions League and the Premier League and the League Cup and the FA Cup, not just show up and see how far we can get. There has to be a genuine ambition.
Yeah, no, I think, the bottom line is we've lost Salah and Mane to AFCON, but our team, our forward line shouldn't be so depleted, and and our midfield shouldn't be so depleted after a few people are out. You know what I mean? We should have reserves and reserves and reserves. But yeah, no, it's just worrying. We're in a worrying position. This transition period that's going to be from Klopp to the new man is going to be really worrying because, look at Steven Gerrard at Villa. We have aspirations for him to come here. He's currently at a club that's showing more ambition than us. So, from a transfer point of view, he's nearly going to be taking a step down when he comes to us. So it's just really, really bizarre. It's really frustrating. We're seeing the season dwindle before our eyes because if we don't get through this competition, we only have the FA Cup and the Champions League to get a bit of silverware. And the FA Cup, that's Man City written all over it. And the Champions League, well, hopefully, we still obviously we take the Champions League over anything, but we're in a very precarious position now, and we need investment urgently in January right now. Sign someone, bring them in. Do you know what I mean? It's not a big deal. Coutinho's been signed by Villa. He's probably going to be playing against United on Saturday. It's a quick turnaround. You don't need to have someone ready-made, world-class superstar. Just sign people and help the fucking squad out.
But the fact that, I want to just say this for a second. That's top-notch banter, mate. Well played. Top-notch. Fair play. If more fans need to be like you, mate, that's creative. Well in. Yeah, it's just frustrating. It is just fucking frustrating because it's not nice to sit here and be critical of Henderson or Milner, these players who have given a lot to this football club, and none of us want to be sitting here doing it. But we also understand that Father Time waits for nobody, and that football is a ruthless business, Chris. And those who succeed are those who are the most ruthless and make the big calls.
Just look at Ferguson's United. That's the model. He didn't actually spend astronomical amounts, and when he did, they were usually some of his worst signings. But if you look at Ferguson's United, they invested.
Jesus Christ.
They invested in success and they invested from success. And Wenger's Arsenal didn't do that. And now it looks like, wow, I hate to lump it in already because I still think it's early and I still think there's time to turn it around. But Klopp's Liverpool goes in that same category. And it's just sad.
I'm also, could you say, I'm worried about Inter Milan, actually.
We'll get on to that as well. But I'm at a point, mate, where I'm just wondering what the owners have to do before certain people will speak up. I've always tried to be fair about the owners. I'll criticize them for the things I think they need criticizing for, and I'll praise them for the things that they've done well, particularly the capital projects at the club. But I'm just seeing, and I don't like to say this because I like a lot of these people, but I'm seeing too many FSG apologists out there that are just not using their platform to actually grow a pair because they're afraid of not getting access to the club or not getting their interviews. I don't know what to say. We're only one channel. We've only got our platform. We can only say what we want to say. But I think I'd like to see, Chris, a bit of a concerted effort across content creators and fans to actually say, we love the players, we love the manager, but fuck me, we need some support. They need some investment.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Look, what people's opinions on the owners are, that everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I think it's just looking at it from an objective point of view. Forget the fact that it's Liverpool, forget the fact that these players have done so much, and look at it without the emotion. This team is falling, man. Last season, look, the injuries, valid excuse. This season, great start. Now there's injuries again. Once is a mistake. Second time, is what I mean. It's people are entitled to their own opinion, but the evidence is there for you to see.
It is, and if last season, Paddy, in the the heroics that Phillips and Reece Williams and Alisson performed, and the lads performed to get themselves back in and get that Champions League spot. If that didn't wake the owners up, mate, if that didn't give them, because that's all they seem to care about is that money, that Champions League money. That seems to be the end goal here. If that didn't wake them up, what will?
I know. That's the side. Like we're in the danger of just stagnating now and not not capitalizing on a golden era for Liverpool, because we have Klopp. He's a gem. You know, you're going to be doing very well to replicate Klopp. Like these owners, and as Connor said there, like FSG are good owners for a B+ team, but like we're ahead of that now. Like we need someone else with more ambition, more money, and just, you know, they're just profit merchants now. They're looking at the profit margin and they're cushy. They don't care about me. They don't care about you. They don't care about Chris. They don't care about the salt of the earth scouser. They don't care about how we feel. All they care about is profit margins and those extra few dollars for their Pittsburgh fucking Penguins. And we're in a difficult position because they're just hoping Klopp can find a random gem from the bloody French second tier and turn him into the next best fucking Zidane. You know, it's just they're hoping for a miracle.
We know why they haven't sold yet. I mean, I can say it in a sentence. They haven't sold yet because even though they bought an asset for 300 odd million quid and it's now worth 3-4 billion pound, the reason that these tight-fisted bastards haven't sold yet is because they feel that there's more growth to be had. They feel that there's more revenue to be generated and that this appreciation hasn't stopped yet.
Look, as well, I just want to caveat what Paddy said with, you'll go a long, long way to try and find owners that actually do care, because there's a lot of owners who, I mean, I don't know very much. I think Vishai and Kun at Leicester are probably two of the main ones really that actually care about their fans. This is cash cow. It is a cash cow for FSG. We cannot escape that. But most clubs are cash cows for their owners. You know, apart from maybe Abramovich as well.
But more success will bring more revenue, will generate growth in the club. This is what I don't get.
Yeah, that's what that's what the you and I, the people with logic that goes beyond spreadsheets know, Craig. But clearly, you know, FSG, Liverpool are making money. They are absolutely, you know, they're the biggest cash cow you can find.
Yeah.
Why would they even contemplate investing money if they're making money already?
Yeah, that's unfortunately true. It's a business for them. That's true. If they're already making money, they're happy enough. You know what I mean? It's until they start losing money, they're not going to be arsed.
That's a very good statement, Paul. I mean, I can't argue with what you said there. Like, I mean, yeah. I mean, and we're hearing that they're not going to give Mohamed Salah what he wants, but the thing there to me, Paddy, is I don't know if it's just a monetary thing. I don't know if Salah is trying to front up and say, we need players. We need a Houlden or we need whoever. Like, and I'm fully behind them. I'm fully behind Mo if he's saying to them, look, I want to commit my future to this club. I want to commit the next 4 or 5 years of my life here. I love it here. The fans love me. I love the manager. But I need to know that the caliber of footballer I'm going to be playing with is going to be as it has been. And
yeah,
it doesn't look like he's going to get the answer that he wants there, Paddy.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, as you're right, the whole Salah stuff could be a lot more than just the face value of wages. He's probably asking for assurances that they're gonna back the squad, because the players themselves and they probably feel the same as us. Like, where is the improvements? You know,
I think they actually won the match or something. Does this fucking Omadon think that they actually beat us or something? Like, dickhead, it's 0-0. Chill. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paddy.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, well, I kind of forgot. The players and themselves and Klopp and everyone, they're probably thinking, like, are they going to back us here? Like, we can't. What is James Milner going to be playing a part for Liverpool in 4 years' time? Like, at the end of Salah's next contract, like, it's a disgrace. Like, listen, Milner's been a good servant, but the Milner is kind of like the perfect example of how we're behind Man City. Like, as I've said it before, he was let go by Man City in bloody 2014, and yes, he had a lot left to prove, but like, it's the sentimentality goes out the window. You need to be shrewd, and you need to be. Just upgrade. It's constant upgrades needed. Like I'm sure I feel sorry for the office staff at Liverpool and Anfield. They must be working off 1990s fucking desk laptops, like computers.
No, don't forget.
I have one question. Where's the money, John? Where's the money? Because I'm sick of hearing that our wage bill is ridiculously high. If they are, then he's overpaying a lot of fucking people. And that needs to be resolved. Because one of the big problems that we had was that we had high earners not pulling their weight. And that's what got us into the problem we were in before Klopp arrived and before this revolution started. We had the Lazar Markovic's, the Mario Balotelli's of this world on silly money, and we couldn't shift them on. Couldn't get rid of them. Actually had to pay Chelsea a fee for the privilege of buying Lazar Markovic because they had first refusal on him. Like, that's how bad it was. And now we're in a position where we're generating a load of money. Nike are on board. LeBron owns a share in us. We've won the Premier League. We've won the Champions League. And we should push ourselves into the stratosphere and become Manchester United 2.0 with regards to the money we generate and the revenue that comes through the club. And no, we're not. We're sitting back and we're just told to be thankful for what we've had and told that we shouldn't dare speak up or we shouldn't dare question or we shouldn't dare want more. Liverpool Football Club exists to win trophies, not to qualify for playing in Europe.
Yeah. You and I know that, Craig.
Exactly.
You and I, 950 people in this chat know that.
I think we're all just worked up because we're genuinely hurt by this. Genuinely hurt. Like, you can talk about one game, one off here or there. There's no light at the end of this tunnel, gents. I mean, we'll hear the journalists say that there's money for generational talent. Fuck right off, is what I'm saying. You're all spoofing bastards. Where are these generational talents? Haaland available, Mbappe available, Bellingham available, probably for the right price. So who are they waiting for? Are they waiting for Jesus to reincarnate and come down? Honestly, seriously, if we're told the money's there, they looked us in the eye. The journalists printed it in the journals and the articles. The money's there for generational talent. We're biding their time. What the fuck are they waiting for? Who are they waiting for? Like, that's my question here. Mbappe's on a free. Haaland 75 million. Vlahovic
and also,
man is there. It's ridiculous.
And not to mention that it's not like they're not spending money all the while. They're buying other shit. They're buying fucking hockey teams or whatever the fuck that is. Like, they have money. They're still going, but they. And not to mention that video that John W. Henry gangster made a couple of years ago. Like, oh, trust us, we're gonna back. Shut up, you fucking old fossil. Get your checkbook out and back the fucking manager. You have one of the best managers in world football, and you're wasting him. There is no guarantee we transfer to a manager that's going to bring us more success. We could be in for a couple of years of obscurity again. So capitalize on while you have it good. You have Klopp. You have a good core. Now, all we need is a little sprinkle of an update here and there to keep us relevant and keep us firing. We should have a fucking Erling Braut Haaland in our team. We should have the next big striker, like, on that team now. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't just be all the Mo Salah show. He needs a break as well. Like, we should be able to survive without Mo fucking Salah. We love the man, but Jesus Christ, give him a break. How can Liverpool not survive without one man being away and suddenly we can't get a shot on target?
We got lucky with that signing because if you remember, Pep Linders and I think Kravitz and somebody had to, like, almost say to convince Klopp that he was the man, that Salah was the one. And look, we knew Salah was going to be a good acquisition, a good player, but let's be honest, none of us dreamt that he was going to be as amazing as he has been. So that's a bonus. And, like, they've only spent real money when we sold players like Coutinho. And that is it. That's the be-all and end-all. He can fuck right off with this shit. Klopp can fuck right off with that shit. Fuck off. None of us are having that. No, you don't tell us 1 month that you can't improve the squad and then come out with this horse shit when we knew that the AFCON was coming up. You don't piss in the tent and tell me it's raining, like.
That's fucking disgraceful, that comment. What you mean you couldn't have been better prepared for it? Yes, you could. Now, maybe he's saying, like, he himself, given what he's been given, maybe he could mean that. But the club, and of course we could have been better prepared for it. Sign a fucking player. Jesus Christ. Look at Man City. Fucking spunked 30 million on Ferran Torres and he's gone. Didn't even bat an eyelid. They made a profit on him. You know, just boom, boom, boom. They don't wait around. I know they have more money, but still, even if they had our budget, they'd be shrewder than they are.
That's embarrassing from Klopp, and I don't think I've ever called him out on anything ever. Apart from maybe a substitution or a timing of it, but that is embarrassing.
Maybe when he was smiling.
We go on. We go on as if Klopp shit doesn't stink. Well, right now he's reeking. Like, he's not perfect. He's not infallible. And that comment there is an absolute farce. And it's a spit into the face of us fans that have to watch that shit show for 90 minutes. What do you mean you couldn't have been better prepared for it? You could, of course you could have. And you could have made a better team choice with better subs. Like, fucking, I'm raging.
I don't know. Look, I feel like we're going to have to wind this one up, or we'll still be here 2 a.m., gents, mulling this one over and moaning. And look, I suppose the only good thing from this that we as fans can take is that there's a second leg to come. We can't be any worse.
Yeah, true.
At least we didn't lose. I mean, I know
fuck off, Chris.
Fully at straws, but it could be worse. It could be.
Your food's there, Craig. Look, perfect time, Craig. Your food's there. Go and. I'm gonna eat as well. Us big boys need to eat more.
Probably end up throwing this fish at the wall, Paddy. I won't lie to you.
I don't want to see that clip of Klopp, man. I'm gonna be angry if I seen that.
I'm fuming about that. I am, and yeah,
I'm just trying to be. I'm spitting facts. We didn't lose.
Mate, I won't lie. I was ready for war this week after all the shit I've read and the accusations. I was fuming all week. All week, I just was going around nearly looking for Arsenal fans in Lanzarote just to shout at them. Man, I don't know.
I'm not.
Go on.
There's no guarantee we win the second leg either. By the way,
of course not. Arsenal are absolutely. It's a 50-50 tie, 100%. They're in with a show. Of course they are. And fair play to them. They did what they had to do to leave there tonight with the goal intact. Not criticising Arsenal at all, but yeah, we need to start asking some serious questions as fans, and we need to stop just accepting what's given to us and just swallowing the bitter pills that keep getting handed out, because we deserve better. Klopp deserves better. Those players who have put the shift in deserve better than to be having their legacies tarnished by being overplayed and ran down when their legs aren't there anymore. Because no player is going to want to say, oh, no, I'm not going to sign a new contract at Liverpool. I'm not going to stay on. Of course they will. They love playing for the club, and rightly so. And we love having them. But time waits for no man. As Chris said, Sir Alex Ferguson, like him, love him, hate him, whatever, he made the big calls. He made the big decisions. He spoke out when he had to speak out. And we need to start doing the same. Otherwise, we're going to be going around in circles, and we're going to have these regrets that we're all afraid of. And that is a big fear. A big fear is that we don't look back on Jurgen Klopp's time and celebrate it for what it achieved and not what might have been, because he's won a lot, but we should have won a lot more. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I agree.
Look, thank you to Chris. Thank you to Paddy. Thank you to you guys for watching. Thank you to Manscaped. Don't forget WFM 20% off and free shipping. And thank you to the guys for covering as well. And thank you to you guys for supporting while I was away. I really appreciate it. Look, second leg to come. We've got the Brentford game coming up at the weekend. We'll be back soon. Take care.